Rock bottom on the track, boy.
Prozac is sometimes you can't come. Yeah, I'm like the little engine that might.
Let me tell you what the drill sergeant said. I know what he said. Let me shit in peace.
Recently that said prioritize your mental health, which I thought was hilarious. Like, I had no idea there were people walking around with other options.
She kind of lied. I'm telling jokes, but I came for the weed. I'm not gonna lie.
But you don't know, like, one thing you're insecure about might be somebody else's fetish. So just keep looking around until you find the right one. They'll come. So will you. How we doing, guys? Hell yeah. You guys are the best crowd we've had so far. Make some noise for yourselves. All right, in case you didn't know what you stumbled into, this is Talk Yo Shit Comedy. This is the second show. I'm your host, Jo Miller. Thank you. And I've got comedians from Tulsa and Arkansas for you guys tonight. Yeah. People paid some gas for this, y'all. They came here just to be judged by you. So, are you guys ready for your first comedian? Yeah! Doesn't need as much applause because he was local, you know what I mean? He wasn't doing anything else. Give it up for Preston Sly.
Yeah. Give it up for Jo Miller for putting this on. Give it up for Jordan behind the bar. Make sure you tip them well. Yeah. And last but not least, let's give it up for existing, huh? Yeah, the human condition. What a pain in the ass that's been. I should have been aborted. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, I'm a product of an affair. Yeah. Imagine that. Right here, conceived right here in the Bible Belt. Yeah. On a dirt road next to a church. Yeah, that's where affairs happen. I was born in a storage closet. Yeah. It was in a hospital. It wasn't like a weird episode of Storage Wars where, like, congratulations, you're the highest bidder. You're now the stepfather to a bastard child. Me. No, that's what happens in the 80s when your mom doesn't have insurance and shows up at the hospital unannounced. They put you in a storage closet, and then she gives birth to you by herself. And when you come out swinging on the umbilical cord with no medical assistance in the room, scary stuff. But eventually a nurse walked in, but like, damn, if that nurse would have waited like just a couple more minutes, it'd been a nice late-term abortion. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Jesus Christ. One of my earliest childhood memories is my mother shooting at father figure number 1 across the cornfield. Yeah, talk about children of the corn, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Allegedly she missed, but I never saw him again, you know what I mean? Crazy bitch shoots at me, I'm not coming back either. When I was 4, I met a pedophile. Yeah. It was a church thing. Anybody else grow up religious? Yeah, we were all touched by an angel, weren't we? Yeah. The funny part about this guy was like he was dating my mom, which kind of makes me and my mom pogo twins. That's not something you want to share with your mother. Yeah. The Bible Belt. forgot where I was going after that. Sometimes after the rape story, you kind of lose where you're at. When I was 18, I joined a cult. Yeah, it's called the United States Air Force. Yeah. I'm not very patriotic for like a veteran. You know, a lot of people assume because you're a veteran, you love America. I'm not. I think nationalism is fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, if you ask me, God hates flags, you know? I've been roofied 3 times. You guys want to take a trip down Roofie Lane? I'll give you all I can remember. The first time was a guy, which I know what you're thinking, real pain in the ass. Yeah, she gets it. To me, the funniest part of the story, though, was like the hotel it happened in was called the Ram Inn. I give it 5 stars. The other 2 times I was roofied twice by the same girl. Like, roofing me once, shame on you. Roofing me twice, like maybe I'm fucking up. You know what I mean? My therapist calls that a stuck point. If anybody goes to therapy in here, let's give it up for therapy. Yeah. I take Prozac. Yeah, which the side effect of Prozac is sometimes you can't come. Yeah, I'm like the little engine that might. Yeah. But that girl roofied me twice, you know, and I like to put that on my Tinder profile. It's like, I don't know how good I am in bed, but this bitch committed 2 felonies for it. So, like, what's the worst that can happen? I've sucked 4 dicks in my life. Yeah. Think about going after that first dick. What I didn't realize is how bad of a gag reflex I have. But I'm a trooper, all right? I kept going, right? And I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Did you ever keep going after that? Yeah, I ate twice that night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sucking dick jokes coming in. God damn. I got chlamydia last summer. It was my 3rd time. 3rd time's the charm, you know. I met her at the lake, and I really wanted to know what was in that sundress. Yeah, it turns out bacteria. Yeah, hot girl summer got me. Woo! She didn't tell me until 3 months later. Oh. Yeah, which sad thing about that is, like, I didn't have to tell anybody. I did not have a hot boy summer. Because it didn't get laid summer for me. I spent some time in Fairbanks, Alaska. Anybody ever been to Alaska? No. It's fucking cold. When I first got up there, I met this guy at the bar, and he's like, "Hey, just so you know, you don't have girlfriends here, you have terms." I was like, "Yeah, it sounds like Tulsa." I was like, I know exactly where you're coming from. There is a website, you can Google this. It's called the Fairbanks Glory Hole. It gets lonely up there, right, guys? But I went to the website and it was like, glory hole for the well endowed. I was like, well, I can't do that. I was like, I don't want to go disappoint a glory hole. Talk about a worst case scenario, you know? Spent some time in Guam back in 2017. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2017 what was going on in Guam, but like Kim Jong-un, the North Korean douche, he was like, I'm gonna nuke Guam. I was like, man, I just got here yesterday. What the fuck? And they're like, well, you can leave. And I was like, $180 a day per diem and I'm suicidal? Fucking win-win, all right? Win-win. And I was like, if it does go off, I'm just gonna go Facebook Live with it. And I mean, hey, it's a great sunset out here in Guam. Apparently war follows me because the following year I was in Hawaii for the fake missile attack. I got that text on my phone. It was like an Amber Alert. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, some missing kid. Like, oh no, this is serious. I might die. I I was like halfway up a mountain, like on a hike. I started at 6 in the morning, so like I was pretty exhausted by then, so I didn't really care. You know what I mean? I was just like, I'm pretty like died from dehydration or nuclear warfare. All right, dealt with this before. Let's just keep going. All right. But I looked and I saw like Pearl Harbor, Waikiki, Honolulu. You know, the target area if I was to attack. I was like, it's gonna be a good fucking shot. Back to the story from Guam. I went on a date with a trans woman from Guam. Yeah, and our second date, she asked me to a gender reveal party. I was like, I thought you knew. Honestly, I thought it was a test. I was like, am I supposed to say no to this? She's like, no, we're not that, what's the word? Handicapped woke here in Guam. Anyways, I'm almost done, Joe. I don't really know how I'm gonna wrap this up. I just started a new job recently and I hate my life. Yeah. You all know how it feels. 200,000 years of human evolution, that's what we're doing. We're paying bills and looking at fucking TikTok videos. Give it up for Jo Miller.
They always try to give you some medical advice and say, hey, we think maybe you should try this mental health medication. We're worried you might be suicidal, which I never considered as an option to leave the military, but it seemed that maybe it was the easiest way out. So they gave me this medicine, and it put me in masturbation purgatory. And I don't know if anybody's experienced that, but I'm Italian, so I sweat a lot. And so like 10 minutes in, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I give up! I'd rather kill myself than have this happen anymore. So I stopped taking the medicine. It was terrible. Since I've left the Navy, I have a beard. She is at home tonight. She actually, my wife, I've been married to her for about 18 years. She is great. We met in high school. I've grown the beard, and she says, I don't like it. I said, why? And she said, it's just too much hair when I go to kiss you, like I can't get to your lips. And I'm like, that's what I've been telling you for years. She said, I heard it when I said it. I recently got asked to do a show for veterans, which was very interesting. I was like, this sounds great. They were the Tears of the 22 Foundation, which I actually have a joke about that I won't tell. The last time I told it in front of someone whose husband had just killed themselves. It's a joke about veteran suicide. It's not funny. I won't do it. Going there, I had this. So when I stopped alongside the road, I stopped in McAllister, Oklahoma. Which somebody knows McAllister. And I was like, woo! And I always stop at Walmart's when I stop because bathrooms are not always clean. And by the way, if Walmart's ever out of toilet paper, they got a whole row full of it. It's not really shoplifting, it stays in the store. And so I was checking out, and this guy has a whole cart full of stuff, and he takes off. I mean, he's running a 4240. This guy is out of the store. And I hear, sir! And I'm scanning myself, so I look up. I'm like, oh, it's not me. And I couldn't help but think of, like, if I'm this guy running out of the store, probably a federal prisoner just trying to do some, odds and ends before he goes home. And for the first time in a few years. And I'm like, is he gonna be like, you and me, sir? I'll stop. Right, it's not gonna happen. And I scanned something and I went, oh no, I scanned it twice. And so now this shithead has inconvenienced me. Yeah, he stole, but it's the Waltons. They're not gonna miss it. They just bought the Broncos. And so I'm walking outside, and all the people were gathered there to talk about like what everyone did. Well, I yelled, sir. Oh, I heard you. I yelled, sir, as well. And they're like, well, Bernice, the greeter, she didn't do anything to stop it. Bernice is like 70, right? Have you guys seen these Walmart greeters? There's not a lot. Vertical and pulse. That's it. Those are the requirements for the job. And it's like not also MMA fighter, right? Like it's not in her wheelhouse. So I did that show. It went terrible. Retiring, what was funny was when I joined the military, my whole family was like, don't do this. Like, this isn't you. you're 130 pounds. So I joined the military, and every time I wanted to get out, which was all the time, for 21 years, every day for 21 years, they were like, no, you should stay. This is now the only thing you're good at. And my sister was the first one to really be supportive. She was like, hey, you should get out. I think it's a good idea. I said, that's great, because growing up, her and I didn't always get along. She was very physically abusive. She was bigger than me. I didn't get, big and strong until years, probably even from now, really, if we're being honest. And she used to beat me up. Like during that time of the month, she would beat me up, and I would bleed, more than she would. And it was a real problem in her house. So they put her on medicine to kind of help with her mood swings. And I'd like to say that now things have gotten a lot better. Right? The mood swings don't always happen anymore. She's just really mellowed out. Now she's just always, just a cunt. Always. But she has been very supportive. Has anybody ever had a really bad dad? Yeah, a couple. A lot of times people don't say that. I'm like, are they here with you right now? No matter how good they are. My dad he was the liar, right? He told us about Santa Claus. He said stuff like that he was faithful to our mom. He'd be like, I love you. And that was true. One of the things he told us was we were Italian, right? My last name is Mautino. It's very believable that I would be from Italy. He's like, we're Sicilian at that, which is great, right? And my friends would be like, hey, have you heard that new song, WAP? I'm like, no. Right? So for Italians, WAP is without papers. That's how we got here. And WAP is a hard A, sir, is WAP, right? But we did 23andMe, me and my sister both, and it both came back, we are not Italian. At all. Not even a little bit. And so I went from talking like this to Googling what is Peruvian. I'm not really sure what I should be doing anymore. I do know that a lot of the things that I thought were normal are now hate crimes, right? We grew up so Italian. I couldn't watch The Sopranos growing up, right? You can't watch it. It's too much like our real life. And my dad, he'd be talking like this. I'm like, dude, you're from fucking Tulsa. You're not from Jersey. Where's this coming from? So, kind of finding that out, really changed our perception of, who we are growing up. You guys are interested in a couple C stories, right? Yeah. Of joining military stories, right? So, when you go to join the military, I know we got one. Anybody else? Veterans or families of veterans? Yeah. Okay, a couple. So, we all go through the same really weird initiation, right? So you go to this place called MEPS, which is basically, it's supposed to be like a doctor's office. It's really like a Ramada Inn that's been remodeled to be, I don't know. And they have you walk around and do all kinds of crazy shit all day. They flap your arms, right? Swing your arms out. And then they take you to this small room with this doctor. And he's like, hey, drop your pants to your ankles. And bend over and grab your feet. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I knew I shouldn't have joined the Navy. And what's weird about the next part is he never touches you. And not that I wanted to, don't get me wrong. But it's kind of like join the Navy under Dr. Weinstein, right? He gets, how he doesn't walk around with pink eye. And he's just in there. If my anus had he was looking into the retina of my anus. He's like, yeah, looks good. Good to me. So when you go to leave, it's the same process, right? You go to medical, they check you out, they make sure you're okay. You're not. And they tell you, right, bend over and grab it. I've been here before. And without warning, they're checking, I'm assuming, they're checking your elasticity. That must have passed. I don't know. So after you get through MEPS, after you're cleared to join the military, you go to boot camp, and they pair you up with people. Some people don't read as well. They don't, so they're like, hey, you partner with this guy. So I'm partnered with this massive dude from Alabama. He's the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life. And you have to empty out your pockets of everything that you brought with you, which I only brought what the recruiter told me, which was not a cell phone at the time. I'm old, I'll tell you. And so I emptied out like 3 things I had, and I inventoried it. And this guy's emptying out his pockets. I'm like, a cell phone, sure. Yeah, pins, yeah, why not? And so all of a sudden he drops in front of me these condoms, and it just, and it's 20 Magnum condoms. And I thought to myself, like, the recruiter's liable. Who did you think you'd be fucking for a third of the days we're in here? Like, that's a lot. I don't know what you think happens in boot camp. That ain't it, guy. Like, you're gonna get fucked down like that. One of my favorite things was bathroom time. You know, we had a veteran up here in the Air Force, so he probably doesn't get it. The rest of us don't have stall doors. You know, they get hotels when they go to boot camp. It's just terrible. So, you know, you're sorry. So, you know, you're trying to do your business. It's already hard at boot camp, right? Because you have so many, like, there's no privacy at all, so unless you grow up in a big house. And so you're trying to do your business, and there's no stall door. And instead of people just waiting in line, there's somebody sitting across from you, like right here, and they're talking to you about their, like, hey, you know what happened today? Yeah, like, we're all here together. Of course I know what happened today. You'll never guess what happened today. We're gonna get in trouble for talking. Can you talk about something? Let me tell you what the drill sergeant said. I know what he said. Let me shit in peace. That's if you never shit in public. This next part, I've only told it one other time. It was not funny. I love it. Senator Tom Cotton. Where's our Arkansas folks? Yeah. Senator Tom Cotton, the only person that could possibly beat him in Arkansas is Senator Mike, I fuck my sister, right? Like, I mean, like, there's no way in Arkansas they'd elect somebody else. So this guy said that Army recruitment is down. I'm out of breath from that squat, Jesus. Sorry. Okay, so he says that Army recruitment is down because of pronouns. I don't know if you know this. This is true. He said this in a room with oxygen. Pronouns. And I couldn't help but think how silly that is, right? One of the things I thought about was, you know, shithead is universal, right? No matter your gender, right? Just shithead. Bless you. So, you know, in the Navy, you start out as a seaman recruit. You become a seaman apprentice, and you die to the Navy called seaman. Yes. And those are our pronouns, right? We had a guy in the Village People singing in the Navy, and recruitment was never better. But pronouns, it's not the 30, like, you realize if you join the Navy today, you are 38% more likely to be raped in the Army than you would have been to die in Desert Storm. Wow. Jesus. I had to look that stat up for the purposes of this joke. I don't love rape. Don't get me wrong, the rape cultures, we've got a problem. I was a victim twice. It's okay that I tell it. One of the things that we got away with was don't ask, don't tell. We used to have don't ask, don't tell, very aggressive law for you know, sailors serving that were homosexual. And then Florida decided, you know what, it went so poor in the Navy, we're going to pick it up and we're going to call it Don't Say Gay in Florida. And I got a daughter who's 12, and we went to Florida right before I retired. She said, Dad, what is the Don't Say Gay? And it was really hard. I had to look it up because I didn't understand all of the intricacies to this. I don't know, anybody been there recently, understand it? No? Okay, good. This makes the joke better. So, with the Don't Say Gay law, if you are a child who's been adopted by gay parents, you can't say at school until a certain age that you have a parent. So, for instance, it's like, you know, little Timmy, what did you do this weekend? And he's like, well, you know, my dad's took me to the zoo. And he's like, no. You can't say dads. It's offensive because we can't know that gay people exist. And so little Timmy is faced with the decision of finding new pronouns. He says, okay, so my family, we, all of us, went to the zoo. My parents, they took me to the zoo. Oh, that's great, little Timmy. Did you do anything else? No, there wasn't much time after my parents, they got done blowing each other. So, but you can't say gay. All right, last one. I do have a daughter. I am a girl dad. Right? Yeah. You know, this is a new term, kind of, that's come along, talking about like, yeah, my daughter is an athlete. Mine's not. She tries really hard. And she recently, you know, kind of started her stuff, right? And so she wakes up one day and she goes, Dad, I don't feel good, I've got cramps. And I said, you know, hey, I hear that working out helps. You need to go to softball practice. I was lying, it might be right. I'm a guy. And so she went to practice, everything went well. I said, hey, I'm so proud of you, right? Like you really toughed it out, I'm really proud of you. And she goes, Dad, I had a lot of pain. I said, why? And she said, it's cramps. She goes, Dad, I had period cramps. I said, in dad fashion, at least they weren't exclamation cramps. And she said, you don't understand, that's not funny. I'm bleeding from my vagina. I said, that's disgusting. Don't you ever say that to me again. And she said, what would you do? What would you do if I cut your arm and you started bleeding? I said, well, I'm field medical certified. I would apply pressure, I would put on a tourniquet, and I would go to the doctor. You know what I wouldn't do? She said, what? I said, I wouldn't let it bleed for a week, pretend everything was okay for 3 weeks, and let it all happen all over again. That's a maniac. So because of that, we went to Target. And we were walking around and we were getting her some toys and stuff like that. And I said, oh, hey, by the way, we got to go get some medicine and stuff. So we're walking around the medicine aisle. And I don't know if you know this, but both Walmart and Target now sell sex toys.
Woo!
Yes, not kind of sex toys, full on, like rabbits. Some of you are putting it into your phone right now. Where's the nearest Target? So we're walking past it, and we had this conversation about Roe v. Wade, right? I don't know if you met 12-year-olds. They're very liberal. It's amazing. They are the dream generation. And she starts talking about, like, I don't understand how they can take away women's rights. And so I'm trying to explain to her Roe v. Wade, and I'm doing a terrible job. And we walk past this aisle, and I'm going over, I'm picking up what I need. And she goes, Dad, what's this? And she brings me this box. And I don't want to explain it to her because it is definitely the Rabbit 4000. And so I said, well, I can answer your Roe v. Wade question with this. She goes, okay. So we put it in the cart, not to buy. I'm not that kind of parent. I walked her over to where the condoms were. Again, not that kind of parent. And I said, you see how these are locked up? And she said, yeah. I said, well, this, because they're locked up, makes it a lot harder to have safe sex. She was right. I said, so because it's harder to have safe sex, you might wind up being pregnant. She was, yeah. I said, well, this is Target and Walmart's way of telling you, we're not going to help you stop from getting pregnant. But on aisle 5 over here, you can go fuck yourself. Thank you all very much.
Never turn your back towards the audience. This wall is my audience. Alright, hi. So, how you guys doing? Woo! Liars. So this guy told me recently that these crazy times we're living in are perfect for starting cults. And that guy was God. I was in kindergarten once, and the teacher was showing us the color wheel. You guys remember the color wheel?
Yeah.
So yeah, she was like, you know, red and orange, or red and yellow make orange. I still don't know the fucking color wheel. Red and and yellow make orange. Blue and yellow make green. And if you put a bunch of colors together, it makes brown. So I raised my hand and I was like, yeah, duh. We've all eaten before. I think the Roe v. Wade thing is like really obvious. I don't understand how it's even like an argument, you know? Like anyone who's gone boating knows that rowing sucks and wading kicks dick. So. I pay an arm and a leg for health insurance, and they won't even cover the amputations. I think it's really interesting. I was reading that men kept women from learning how to read for like hundreds and thousands of years because they were scared we'd end up in witchcraft. I love how that's exactly what happened. You know, are there any Dustins in the room? All right, cool. So Dustins are okay, but as kids, I feel like they all suck. Like, they're all weird, they have a weird haircut, they suck every time. Like, even their moms named them after a chore, you know? Such a stupid fucking joke. You guys ready for monkeypox? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do well with that one. We're really shallow people, you know? COVID was okay because it just killed us. This is gonna make us look weird, so that's not gonna go well. They're gonna have like a TikTok filter then just for the monkeypox to make it look right. Yeah, it's been a rough few years, you know? I've never seen so many people that want to live die and so many people that desperately want to die live. You know? Like, my mom was like, yeah, you better get that vaccine, you're gonna die. And I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna be fine. My life is going nowhere. Like, worry about Brad, he just started investing in the right crypto. He's next on God's list. That's how God works. No one has a problem with this. Did anyone else notice that all their suicidal, severely depressed, druggy friends, not one of these fuckers died from COVID? Not one of these fuckers. Woo! So many of them. And I'm talking about myself. No, I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal anymore, but I still act like I'm suicidal and talk like I'm suicidal because I know how the angel of death works, and he plays hard to get. That's how. The day I wake up saying I want to live that's when he's going to take me out. I know that for a fact. Yeah, I've been anyone here depressed? Woo! Yeah, I've been pretty depressed. I've been sleeping in really late, you know? I accidentally fasted every day of Ramadan this year. No one knows what that is. Whatever. I'm not even Muslim. I'm Jewish. Like, what the fuck, guys? Like, they're my enemies and I know it. Like, what the fuck? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I tell a lot of dark jokes. People don't like that from, you know, girls. They don't like when girls talk about wanting to die because they, like, care if girls die, you know? When men say it, they're like, yeah, that's hilarious. You want to kill yourself, that's hilarious. But they don't like when girls talk about being suicidal, so I just make sure to tell them I'm Jewish. And then they're like, yeah, we want you to die too. That works. We are on board. But, yeah, I've been pretty depressed. I saw a meme recently that said, prioritize your mental health, which I thought was hilarious. Like, I had no idea there were people walking around with other options. I don't know, I can't watch certain shows. Most things just make me feel bad about my life. Anyone else? Yeah. I gotta screen what I watch. I can only watch Intervention at this point. Any rock bottomers in here? Yeah, I used to watch My 600-Pound Life too. Yes! But I had to stop watching that because even those bitches have husbands. They're carrying them in and out of the car. Like, these bitches have husbands. I'm like, I can't find a man who will look for my clit. You have found men who will look for your whole ass vaginas till death does you part. Like, what the fuck? But I love Intervention. It's like the cheesiest show. You know, they're like, Susan was against drugs until she tried them. I'm like, yeah, that's how that works. It's the story of me and Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I love that show. And then, you know, she goes to therapy, she does recovery, she gets better. It's It's kind of lame. The screen goes black and it's like, Susan went back to crack, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, damn. Every time she goes back to drugs, it feels like I'm going back to drugs. It's great. Yeah, today actually marks the 3rd year of me being sober. Yeah. From sobriety. Okay. There we go. So, let's see. Yeah, I'm Jewish, whatever. My name is Zehava. That actually means gold, and I think that's kind of anti-Semitic, Mom. It's a little anti-Semitic. I kind of think the word anti-Semitic is anti-Semitic. Like everything else is racist. Just this short, sweet word for everything racist, and then this long, annoying word just happens to be for the Jews. Just it adds up. It adds up. Being a Jew is weird because, like, you don't know how people feel about it until they find out, and then you get to find out how they feel about it. It's kind of like being trans, you know? It's like, you know now, so do you want to kill me or fuck me? What are we doing here? I get a lot of anti-Semitic, like, nasty comments online, which is interesting. Sometimes I talk to these people, I'm like, hey, why do you hate us so much, you know? First I thought, like, oh, maybe it's because Jews sound so much like you know? Like, maybe you should just go by another name. It's like, oh, we should just go by Hebrew. That has you in it. Also, for marketing geniuses, we did not do well at branding ourselves. We supposed marketing geniuses. Yeah, some people, when I ask them why, they're like, because you own all the banks. Why do you hate Jews? Because you own all the banks. Is your money still in there? I don't like ask my friend to watch my purse for me and then go to the bathroom and come out like, what the fuck are you trying to do? Give me that shit. This is weird, I don't know. Let's see, people like to downplay the Holocaust a lot. No, they do. And it's because Jews are, like, you know, somewhat successful afterwards. So I'm like, hey, they killed my immediate family. And they're like, yeah, but you're rich, so you don't give a shit. You really don't care. And I'm like, he's like, hey, I would personally kill my entire family for that money. So don't even, my mom would be disappointed in me if I did not kill my entire family for that money. Anyways. I'm actually German Jewish, which means I really enjoy hating myself. People like don't know German Jews are a thing. They think that just means my dad's like some Nazi and my mom's like a Jew and they got married. And like they only fight when he tries to give her a high five. She's like, it was 6, you asshole. Yeah, no, there were German Jews. Like, they didn't, like, ship them overnight through Amazon from, like, Australia or something. It was more of a, like, support local situation. It's too dark, but that's all right. Yeah, so I was actually raised in a cult for my whole life, and then I left at 22. I left all the Jewish stuff and all the Jews. I came here. And I did something stupid recently. I got a DNA test and was hoping for some spice, like some spicy, you know, 100% Christ-killing goblin, across the board, inbred. I'm a writer. That is what I am. Jews were really hairy. I had to like shave my legs to get into these. I was gonna have to go a size up. It's pretty bad. But yeah, I wasn't that shocked when I got my genetics test back. But it did say 0.2% North African, so that does explain the armpits and asshole. My asshole would not get canceled if it said the N-word. You know, I was thinking about assholes, and not my family. No, I was thinking about actual assholes, and how, like, you know, people bleach their assholes. And I don't know if you know the rules of contouring, highlighting, and shading, but bleaching an asshole is more of a highlighting situation. Like, first of all, your asshole looks so good that you want it to be highlighted. That's not where I'm at, first of all. Second of all, I want more color shading. That's what I want. I want it in the fucking shadows. I want a contouring video for ass cracks specifically. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah. So, should we talk about boyfriend? Should we talk about boyfriend?
Yeah.
Or getting older? Let's talk about getting older. So I'm like in my 30s, and it's weird because everyone just like lies to you a lot. The minute you hit your 30s and you're a woman, they're like, you know, you can say all the time you want to have kids. You have all the time in the world. I'm like, that's scientifically not true. It's right here. Google says it right here. I've got like 5 years left. Or it might kill me to have kids. So thanks. I don't know where the fuck you're getting your information. Also, like, I don't want to be 65 at my kid's kindergarten graduation, you know? Like, I don't want them to be like, all right, now the baby's head is crowning through your cervix. All right, now the baby's head is crowning through your titties. Getting older sucks. I was watching TV alone in my apartment, so I was naked at the table, and I felt my tits, like, on the table. I think I'm starting to get older because my kids are sitting at the table with me. I just never thought they'd be longer than my boyfriend's penis, you know? They're not that bad. He's white, so. And they started clapping during sex. And I hate that. It's gross, and I hate it. And he doesn't deserve the applause. The guy that I'm with is not really fit. He's not a very health-conscious person, which is fine. Just kind of new for me. You know, I don't know if I cared if he cheated. I'd be like, hey, did you get your heart rate up? No, that's progress. That's nothing. Sometimes I just like, he's a really nice guy, and he's just like, I'm a very comfortable person. What the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, so my boyfriend's fat, and that's awesome. He's also not like that attractive. Like, he's not that attractive. Like, when I ask him to go down on me, I'm just like, hey, do you want to bump up uglies, or? That was mean. It's not that bad. I like use his stomach as a pillow when I blow him. It's comfy. His belly's, he doesn't want me to blow him. He says my nose makes his dick look too small. So. But I'm gonna leave on that. Thank you guys.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here today. She kind of lied. I'm telling jokes, but I came for the weed. I'm not gonna lie. My name's Edrick Jorge. EJ is what my friends call me. George is spelled like Jorge, but my mom pronounced it George to confuse immigration. So yeah, that's been used before. I identify as a comedian. My pronouns are he, and ha. Thank you. Exactly. By the way, I don't care what your pronoun is. That's cool. I'll call you whatever. But I do know that trans people have they get a lot of flack in the news, especially. I saw about this one controversy about a trans woman who wanted to join the postal service, like FedEx or UPS. A lot of controversy behind that. I don't know why. Apparently, if you could lose one package. To be fair, it was junk mail. But it's a silly joke. I love that joke. I did get in trouble for that joke in my hometown. I told that joke in a bar, and it's a so-so joke. A couple people laughed. It's just so ironic that someone complained, because one of the few people who laughed was the only trans woman in the bar. Not only did she laugh, she came up and told me she loved the joke. Not only did she love the joke, she even gave me new bits to add on to the joke. Not only that, I sucked her dick. How am I the bad guy? By the way, Preston, she says hi. Wherever you but yeah, it's not too bad. Give it up for Cayce and Preston for serving, by the way. It's funny because I've served myself. I've served everywhere. I've served Japanese food, Cajun food, Australian food. I'm actually a server at a restaurant. I learned how to be a server at a sports bar though. It was a pretty fun place. We we had a good-looking crew. Some of us were pretty flirty. Hey. But we had this rumor one time about one of our servers grabbing a customer's phone, taking it into the bathroom, and taking nude photos of themselves. Right. The only thing I have to say is my phone died and he tipped me $20. I just tip for tap, No, it's cool though. I'm a server at a Japanese restaurant now. I actually used to be a sushi chef at this restaurant. When I was making sushi, I was also smoking quite a bit of marijuana. And I thought by rolling sushi, that would help me roll joints better. Not only can I not roll joints, now I have to cut them into 8 little pieces every single time. What you smoking on? Just some spicy tuna kush. Best seaweed in town. Hey, I drove 2 hours for that job. I don't know. It's a pretty fun restaurant. I like it. Let's see. We have see, our restaurant, we don't number our sections. We alphabetize them, A through D. And I had a pregnant woman in my section one time, and I thought it was so funny. I went up to her and like, ma'am, I don't mean to bother you. I just think it's so funny that you're pregnant because you're in my C-section. Y'all laughed, she laughed, her doula did not. Like, she was like, no, we have a plan. It's gonna be a home birth, it's a kiddie pool with an epidural bath bomb. That mama was eating raw sushi. She was not a good doula. But if you think about it, liking it raw was probably how she got pregnant in the first place. Yeah, thank you. Let's see where we are. I smoked a little bit too much sushi, I'm sorry. No. So, working at the Japanese restaurant. By the way, working at a Japanese restaurant in Arkansas is kind of like working at a Cracker Barrel in Korea. It doesn't seem like it quite fits, but it works. But I learned how to use chopsticks there. It took me a minute. I call them arthritis forks. My hands were always cramping up, And when I was learning how to use chopsticks, I read about this story. There was it was on the news. It was about China losing bamboo, and they weren't able to make as many chopsticks anymore. So they actually outsourced it to a company in Texas. People in Texas were making chopsticks for China. And it was so weird because for every box they sent in big bold letters, it said made in America. And I don't know why they were so proud because they were made out of recycled corn dog sticks, but it works, It was just so funny to me because I don't know, but the kicker is, the guy who owns the company is a Chinese dude. Born and raised in Texas. So it was weird to see this Chinese guy on the news just go well, just gotta say, I think we got the best chopsticks here in Texas. I'm gonna say it. Now, China did all right for the past, 4,000 years. But as always, we here in Texas took the design and improved upon it to make it easier to grip the chopsticks. Every chopstick has a trigger. We also make our own fortune cookies, American fortune cookies. Instead of a fortune, it's a little constitution. We the people. They couldn't fit the whole thing. Anyway, I don't know, it's pretty fun. I am Filipino. I know I look a little ambiguous. I was serving a gentleman one time who I could tell didn't know I was Filipino. I could tell though that he thought I was Japanese, Native, and Mexican. I only know that because he called me Samurai, Chief, and Holmes in the same conversation. And he stuck with Mexican. On the way out, he was like, hey, thanks for the sushi, I said. I said everything right today. Nothing I said was wrong. I don't know, he's a pretty cool guy, he's a regular. I had him again. And And he actually asked me one day, he was like, I gotta find out, what's your nationality? I told him I'm Filipino. Like, oh, so were you born in the Philippines? I was actually born in South Korea. He got confused. A lot of people do get confused. I'm an immigrant. But when I tell people I'm Filipino, born in South Korea, I try to explain it by saying, well, imagine if a Nissan was made in a Kia factory and shipped to America. And every time they're like, oh, you're an import. It's pronounced immigrant, but they're getting the idea. I was like, no, I'm an immigrant. I actually flew here. I flew first class mail. He was like, first class mail? No, I flew first class. He thought I flew first class mail. But he was like getting slowly frustrated because he wasn't quite getting the concept. So at some point I was just like, nah, fool, I'm kidding. I'm Mexican. You got me. I was like, I knew it. You almost got me, compadre. I know my racist. How about you? I actually have an interesting story about flying to America. Before we flew, we had to get pictures taken for our passports. My mom didn't have pictures ready, so we had to get it really fast. So we went to a photo booth at the mall. And I was really young at the time. I didn't know what photo booths were. She just stuck me in one alone, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. So after a few seconds, all I heard was and a bright flash. And I thought I got shot alone in a closet with a curtain for a door. So I freaked out. I started crying, I tried to leave, and then my mom just tried to push me in, and it still was taking pictures the entire time. So the photo strip was just me confused, me crying, my mom's arm pushing me in, me crying. A few years later, I was looking through old documents and photos of my family, and I found our passports, and I found my passport. And I was really confused, and I went up to my mom, like, Mom, did you use the crying photo? The picture of me crying as my passport photo? She was like, yeah, why? We landed at 5 different airports in 5 different countries. You're telling me people in 5 different countries think I'm a little bitch? What are we doing? And she was like, no. They thought you were a bitch when you were crying in the airport. I'm like, yeah, you kept trying to push me in the fucking photo booth every time. I don't know, it was pretty fun. I'm glad we still came to America. I've lived here most of my life. I'm proud to be Asian American. But I know that's not the experience for every Asian American, especially after COVID. I heard the story about a Stop Asian Hate protest in California, where this elderly gentleman drove through a red light, drove through the crowd, and yelled, "Fuck China." And that seems pretty hateful, but I'm kind of an optimist, and I believe there wasn't really any hate in his heart because I've fallen asleep driving before. And you know when you fall asleep driving, you're always bewildered at where you're at and how you got there? I think that's what happened. I think he just fell asleep driving, woke up surrounded by Asian people. Where do you think he thought he was at? So it wasn't really like, fuck China, it was more like, fuck China, oh my God, I drove all the way to China? I gotta stop smoking sushi. Might as well sell these chopsticks while I'm here. Is that a Cracker Barrel? I appreciate y'all, that's usually what I like to end on, but I'm gonna get a little personal. It's about me and my girlfriend. I love my girlfriend. We've been together for about 4 years. We met on Tinder, which is great. But I like to say I treat her like I met her on eHarmony, and then we have sex like we met on Craigslist. You know what I mean? And we're not polyamorous, but we're both Gemini, so between our 4 personalities, we can mix it up, you know? A few astrology hosts, okay, appreciate you. But we did, before we started dating, we did the whole, background thing, and who have you dated in the past? And I'm relieved to know she didn't date just white guys. That's cool, that's fine, I don't care. But it's weird to know I'm not the first Asian guy, once is coincidence, twice is a fetish. You know what this is? But yeah, we've been together 4 years. We've been pretty happy. Last year though, I cheated on her. This is the moment where we're like, please say something funny. We were having fun until now. We we processed it. I messed up. I apologized 1,000 times, and she kind of got over it. But she'll remind me. You know, do you get over it really? She'll just kind of remind me. I'm just like, I know I messed up, and like I tell her to remind me. That's my self-punishment, you know. And every time I go out, she always trusts me, and I hold her in her little face. I'm like, you are my person. I choose you, and I will remember that. And she's like, yeah, you better. And then she like nuts taps me, and then I'm on my way. But she finally gave me permission to tell me the story because of something else that happened that kind of connects to it. But when I was workshopping it, she was like, all right, tell me what you got. I was like, okay. I was drunk at a club. It was a coworker. It was in her car next to her baby's car seat. And she just starts laughing. And I'm like, it's funny? I'm like, no, oh my God, that's terrible. Don't say that. But it was a coworker. It was at the sports bar that I worked at. Like I said, we were kind of flirty. We flirted with each other. We hooked up, and that was a mistake. And I hurt my person. That's not the funny part. The funny part is about 2 weeks ago, me and my girlfriend were at the local club, and we were with my family. And we were both bi, so we like to check people out with each other, like, hey, look at that butt, hey, look at that butt, hey, look at that butt. But she just happened to spot this woman, and she was like, babe, oh my God, she is so hot. And I look, and guess who it was? Old girl herself. I'm like, no. I just start shaking, just furiously, and hoping she doesn't notice it. And she's like, oh, isn't that like a coworker? Why don't you go to say hi? Like, okay. She spots us, and you know, like, I go to say hi, and then like she comes over already, and I'm already freaking out. And like she finds out that it's, you know, the coworker that I hooked up with, and she kind of processes it like, she's so hot, and I'm like, I know, but that's not the point. That it was a personal thing, and
Comedian of the night. Are you ready? Are you fucking ready? Keep in mind before this person comes up here, they are the offspring of parents that produce not only one, but two stand-up comedians. Give it up for Alex Miller. My lovely older sister, Jo Miller. I know what you guys are thinking. No, my childhood was not super fucked up, despite the fact that, like she said, spawned two comedians. So this feels very intimate tonight, since you guys are like, you know, just right here. So we're gonna be talking about some intimate stuff tonight. And yes, I do have my notes because I'm a stupid bitch. So I need them. I can't blame it on, you know, war trauma or anything. Like some of these people are just stupid. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm also really hungry right now. I guess that's fair. So, Jo all the time likes to refer to me as her baby sister. And I'm like, bitch, you know for a fact the only thing baby on me is these baby back ribs right now, okay? I'm like, I got no qualms about it. I'm fat. Like, I hate online dating because of that. Like, people try to be lying and be like, I'm just a little thick. I'm like, nah, bitch, I'm mad fat. I don't have a wop, I got a fop. I got a fat ass pussy. But you know what? Know what you have, okay? Know what you have and work with it, yes. Yes. Are there any guys out here with a small dick? Oh, yeah. Nobody wanted to claim that, first of all. Fucking own it, okay? Own what you have. I know a girl who fucked a guy because he had a small dick, okay? Now you must be wondering what kind of game this was. He said, my dick mad tiny. And she said, prove it. And he pulled down his pants and she said, damn, that dick mad tiny. And you have to fuck him. That's the rule, okay? You have to fuck him at that point. But you don't know, like, you know, one thing you're insecure about might be somebody else's fetish. So just keep looking around until you find the right one. They'll come. So will you. Yes. Are any of you guys Christians? Loved the silence. Perfect. You're not going to get offended with this. Yay. Okay, so if you think about it, Joseph was the original cuck. If you think about it. I mean, some other dude fucked his chick and got her pregnant. And, you know, it just sounds like it was her fetish and not his. You know, her fantasy, and he just went along with it. But you know, people in Jerusalem were fucking with them all the time. You're walking across the town square. Oh, where you going, Joseph? Going to make sure your wife's not making another savior baby. Fuck you, Malachi. I don't know Christian names, obviously. I'm a heathen. My grandmother, she just started speaking Latin at me one day, and I'm like, are you trying to like get the demons out? It's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my other religion joke then, since we're here already. If you think about it, there's a lot of my jokes are if you think about it, okay, because I'm high all the time. If you think about it, Jesus missed such a good marketing opportunity and such a like good business strategy. He could have put Mary Magdalene out of business with those 4 extra holes he had, okay? He was his own portable glory hole. Men are depraved. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Just look at my notes real quick. So a little bit about my family. She said no. All right. We do have a lot of familial trauma, not necessarily from our parents. If you guys also have familial trauma, I'm going to tell you how to deal with it, okay? Do what I like to call an Uno reverse, okay? Traumatize them back. I started gaslighting my parents. I started dropping my grandmother off at department stores with no cell phone and no money. And just let her wander around. Just start doing fucked up shit to them, okay? That's the solution, just gaslight them back. Why does trauma have to be childhood trauma? So I don't support domestic abuse. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. But I do kind of understand it a little bit. Especially when I tell my Alexa to do something and that bitch does the complete opposite. That shit makes me irrationally mad. And I think, oh, maybe she just didn't hear me, so I do it slower and louder. Alexa, turn down the volume. This bitch just starts blasting, so I walk over and I unplug her. I'm like, fuck you, took you off life support, bitch. Don't do that to your spouses, please. Don't take them off life support. I am single, as you can tell from that joke. Dating, looking for somebody who's a good listener. Or not, I can train you, it's okay. It's okay. So we're over halfway through the year. Yeah, we're making it, guys. How many of you have kept your New Year's resolutions? Nobody? No. One hand back there? I've kept mine. Yeah! Woo! And I'm gonna tell you, when I tell you what mine is, you're like, that shouldn't be a resolution. You should just not do that. My resolution was to not shit my pants this year. Now, I will say, my parents are back there, and when I said that to my mother, she said, no, your resolution should be to shit your pants less often. She knows me too well. I know what you're thinking.
Supportive.
Thank you. Yes, she is. You must be thinking, how often do you shit your pants? That this is a problem. I didn't discover I was lactose intolerant until like 2 years ago. I think my lowest point was when I shit myself twice in one day. Secret time. Since we're getting intimate, yeah, shit myself twice in one day. Dare I say within the same like hour? At work. that's exactly how I felt. There's nothing quite like the feeling of shitting your pants when you're standing in the doorway of the bathroom, when your hand is on the handle and you feel like you're gonna make it, and you've already shit your pants once that day. And you're like, you count on your butthole. She's kept you, strong your entire life. She's the gatekeeper, and she fails you. Twice. Now, to be fair, shit me once. Shit on you, shit me twice. Maybe that's my fault. Yeah, I had a cheese pizza with extra ranch. It was, let me just say, I usually like I said, work with what you have, okay? I got really small legs. I don't know if y'all can see this. It's accentuated by the cinch in the peanut butter jelly time socks. And so I recognize that I look like a little chicken. So I usually wear a lot of layers, like pants, shorts, whatever. And I was working in a clinic, so you think a medical professional would know not to shit their pants. Didn't happen. So what happened was, after I shit my pants and I did what cleanup I could manage, sneakily, I snuck out the back door and disposed of the evidence in the dumpster, right? I had to do this twice in one day, mind you, okay? When I came back to work a week later, there was a padlock on the dumpster. Somebody was offended. I'm like, all right, that's fine, I guess. So Zehava already talked about my 600-pound life. It's just such a good show. And she's right, I always be thinking, how do these bitches have husbands? I'm like, damn, me and my sister we talk about that when she was single. She's not single anymore. Bitch. She was part of the single club, now she's happy. Disgusting. She was like, I just don't know, those bitches can get husbands and here we are unmarried. And I said, bitch, if I wanted a husband, I can get a husband. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, bitch, I can just go down to Home Depot and go, does anybody need a green card? I was debating on whether or not to tell that joke. But my favorite part is you just gotta go, green card. That's the only way to do it, like you're folding a wing. Oh, I love that joke. Thank you guys for that. So, Jo thinks that I'm the favorite child, because I'm the baby, right? I'm the younger one. We're only 13 months apart. Yeah, our parents were fucking whores. Yeah, no birth control. I think they just forgot to do the abortion on me. Okay. So, she always thought I was the favorite because she's like, Mom and Dad aren't mean to you, they don't discipline you. And I'm like, no, you're just stupid. What she did was she wasn't smart about it. She acted out at a really young age. Be smart about it. I waited until I'm adult and I got diagnosed with depression. So now they can't do anything to me without being one of my 13 reasons why. Once you get slapped with that label, it sticks around, okay? Just like if you fuck a goat once, you're a goat fucker for life. If you're in one suicide note, haunts you forever. Let's see what we have left. Okay, so it looks like I just got one more for you guys. How are we feeling? I guess I could do two. I don't know, it depends. Do three? Okay, three? I'm like, you don't have to ask me twice. I'm an attention whore, okay? So, how ride or die are you guys for the human race? Till the end. Somebody said till the end. Let me tell you how ride or die I am for the human race. Okay, guys? I would kill E.T. with a hammer for the human race. I know you're thinking, how is that applicable? If you see some shit you ain't never seen before, isn't your first thought, ew. What the fuck is that? And then your second thought is, what is it gonna do? I'm not about to risk y'all's lives, okay? If I was to come across anything I could not readily identify, I think I'm pretty good at identifying things, you know? If I came across something I couldn't readily identify, I would kill it for you guys, okay? And the government would probably track me down and put me in jail, and I wouldn't snitch, because snitches get stitches, okay? I'm ride or die for you guys. I'm not gonna tell my full ET joke because it's too much. And we have some people who were probably victims of ET in the audience. So I'm gonna be sensitive about it. You know, that creepy ass glowing finger. It's just like, what was he doing with it? He liked to be around children. You know, didn't really communicate. His small, wrinkly, creepy baby face. He's gross, that's all I'm saying. Eating Reese's Pieces in the woods, like, okay. Tell me that's not a molester. An intergalactic molester, okay, guys? I would stop him for you. All right, I'm gonna end on my favorite joke. Do you guys like porn? There was like total silence for a second. Do you guys like porn? Thank you. I know you guys are horny. I know you guys are depraved. I know it because we all are. Like, here's the thing, okay? I've decided that being attracted to women makes you lose IQ points. Now, notice I didn't say men being attracted to women makes you lose IQ points. Because I'm also attracted to women, and they make me dumb as fuck, okay? I play both fields and still have nothing, so... Women, okay, we're not gonna go on women. So, porn. I have issues with porn. And I know what you guys are thinking. I'm not one of those, like, porn is so unrealistic, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't care if you look at porn. Like, do you and whoever else you want to do as long as we get to watch. Like, whatever, it's fine. My thing is that, like, because I worked in medicine for several years, porn makes me concerned. Because I've got my horny brain, and then I've got my medical brain, you know? And horny brain's like, yeah, get into it. We're doing this. And then medical brain's like, I hope she's using a good lube. And then horny brain's like, who gives a fuck? Yeah, let's do this. And I'm like, oh no, that's how you get yeast infections. And horny brain's like, who the fuck do you care? Are you doing a welfare check on these people afterwards? I had no problem with porn, guys. But actually, I have an issue with the directors, okay? The plot inconsistencies in porn need to be addressed. I don't know if there's any directors out here right now. And you need to take some notes. Just make it make sense, okay? Like, let me give you an example. You're gonna learn a little bit about me, if you haven't already. I was watching home invasion porn. Yeah, this guy was just like creeping through the house. He's a robber. He broke in. He was gonna find the woman and have sex with her or whatever. But the shot that really just pissed me off was he opens the door and sees the woman on the bed and he creeps over and they start to have sex, whatever. I couldn't even enjoy it. I was so pissed off. This man came out of the closet. Why the fuck you come out the closet? Make it make sense, okay? Just make it make sense. I'm trying to get my nut and all you doing is confusing me. Inconsistencies, okay? You guys have been really good tonight. Thank you so much. I'm Alex Miller. You can find me on my social at Alex Miller on Facebook. Me and Joe also have a podcast, so let's talk about podcasts.
So let's talk about podcasts, aka social.
Yeah.
One of the sponsors for this event, I didn't realize my little sister was such a professional and she was going to plug herself up, guys. But once again, Stevie Ray is doing my video stuff for me. Give it up for him again. 918 Zach, local talented rapper. He's the one who set up all this sound stuff for you tonight. Every single comedian that came out here tonight
did this for you, and I want to hear one more thank you. Who the fuck watches porn for the plot? Am I right, guys? All right, let's get out of here. Thank you. Cayce hit way too many of my points for me to not tell you this joke, okay? Inspired by my Sicilian dad, who is here tonight. Give it up, yeah. All right, guys. You might not know this about me, but I'm what you might call a natural woman. Yeah, that means that I got a full bush going on. Armpits are full of hair. Yeah. I'm a natural Italian woman. And if you don't know what that means, Italian is just like greasy white with extra hair, right? So my cue to trim my bush used to be when it looked like I had Joe Jonas in a headlock, right? This is really so I can talk about Joe Jonas. When I was a kid, it just made the most sense to me that I was gonna get married to Joe Jonas. We'd be Joe and Joe Jonas, right? Makes perfect sense. He was so cute, he was so famous whenever I was a kid, right? Then when he married that ginger bitch from Game of Thrones, I can take solace in knowing this wop never stood a chance, you know what I'm saying? Wop, wop. If you were, wet hairy pussy, okay? That's what I'm rocking, guys. All